Welcome back, everyone. OWCS Stage 3 main event. This is day 3, and I'm joined by Jake and Johnny once more. We're here to witness all the action in the lower bracket now for the NA region. It's going to be another elimination match, the semi-final match in said lower bracket. And this one will be fought out between Team Nightmare and, of course, Timeless. We've seen both of these teams now aplenty, so we have a good idea of what to expect from both of them. And while we've seen a lot of compositional mismatches, I feel, throughout the day. This is going to be an honest dive mirror, surely.
Maybe. I mean, I think Nightmare has a lot of flexibility as well.
Yeah, Timeless, I mean, they came into the last matchup, and they did show some dive as well. They dealt with the Wrecking Ball really efficiently. And we've seen that Vision and Doomed, they're happy to swap over to this full dive, especially backed up by Kaffa, who has a really respectable Winston that could be an absolute difference maker in this series, right? I feel like Squid and Lucamino, they've been on point so far in this main event. So I feel like this team, they have a pretty good style going into this one. They're facing someone like Infected, for example, who, might be able to play some Wrecking Ball themselves on a few of these maps, right? Or, play some Winston even if they wanted to, right? So I feel like this is a pretty flexible team that can deal with a lot of different looks, right? But mostly I'm looking out for the dive from this team, even though Vision, we know that it can bring out the long-range hit scan if it wants to.
Here's the problem, though. I mean, Jake, if we're looking at those teams and try to compare the individual roles pound for pound, Zero, Seeker, Lethal on the bench. How will Doomed and Vision stack up against that?
I mean, I think Doomed and Vision are huge threats, but I feel like I just feel like Seeker and Zera have been really impressing me in the last few matches. Zera with the flexibility, whether it's the Pharah, the Genji has been, for me, a particular highlight, but the Tracer also super stable, super consistent, and the team play with Infected's tank swaps has been immaculate. So honestly, I think Nightmare are, for me, the favorites, but I do think this is going to be very close, very competitive. I think these are both very strong teams. Maybe the edge for Nightmare, though, comes from the different comps they can field, where I do agree Kappa has a fantastic Winston. He is definitely a main tank specialized player, and the option to bring in Clear and bring out like a Zarya or a Mauga could make a flashpoint pick just a really powerful tool in Nightmare's pocket.
All right, well, let's take a look at our predictions for this one. I'm hoping for a close series here. That said, please show my prep because I actually forgot it. Thank you. Nightmare, obviously, I picked Nightmare. No, I mean, Nightmare, they were the team that pushed Toronto Defiant very closely in some moments, at least in their match. Did they win a map? No, they didn't. But still, I feel like pound for pound, individually, I see them as the stronger team here.
Yeah, I went with Nightmare as well. I think they've got maybe a little bit more depth compositionally, but I think on like a Winston dive mirror, I think this is anybody's game. So I did go with 3-1. I think there's a very real chance here for Timeless to win maps. But I think the counter picks could be a little bit strong from Nightmare, and I think they've been playing pretty well as of late.
Yeah, I went with Nightmare too. I do feel like Timeless, they're kind of like fighting uphill in this matchup, especially because, like Jake mentioned, I think Zero and Seeker has been such an impressive damage duo so far this tournament. So if you are Timeless, it's really on you to shut down the value from both of those damage players. So you have to deal with both Zero on the Tracer and then Seeker having long-range hit scan. That's going to be a really tough task for Timeless.
Yeah, and as we can see here in our viewer predictions, the majority is in the same camp as we are. Nightmare, the favorite to win it all. Alas, you'll never know. You'll never know. Loser's map pick can really turn the tide here as well in this particular series where we feel it's more closely matched. And generally, I don't feel like either of those teams played a team that was on even kind of footing. I always felt like either they had to punch way upward to the Toronto Defiance of the world, or they were punching down and it was kind of mean. So let's see if this is going to be maybe a little bit more even of a match. Jack, Necra, how do you feel about this one?
I'm in for the upsets. It's upset day. I'm down. Look, we're near the end of the day, but it's upset day. Well, it could be. Maybe soon. What do you think? Nightmare versus Timeless?
Oh, I think it could be pretty close. I think, though, I'm in the Nightmare camp right now by using what I'm going to steal from Zoe, the transitive property. If Energy Shock can upset Toronto Defiant, but Nightmare made that match close.
There it is.
I don't know. I think I have to give this one to Nightmare.
I like that a lot, but maybe the 25% of the audience is here for the upset as well. Hey, we can keep it rolling. I'm down. Lijiang Tower, our first map.
I'm down.
Nightmare versus Timeless, with a gracious honor for the victor after this game of facing Toronto Defiant down in the lowers. Yes, the lowers. But as we load into this one, I mean, the Desperate 3-1, 3-2. Very close game, and I hope it's going to go all the way yet again as we load on in. See what Timers want to roll out with, because we know Cover's probably going to play Winston, but we've seen a fair amount of infected Wrecking Ball as well.
And that's why seeing Vision hover over the Sombra immediately shows that Timeless are prepared for that. If they're going to expect Infected to come out on the Wrecking Ball, we've already seen what a pain Sombra can really be for a pick like that. So think about it. Just gonna put it out there. Maybe we see Vision or Doomed actually try to pick that up a little bit later. Maybe it's gonna be Doomed that takes up that role when Vision is more known in this roster for playing the Tracer. So as we come out of the gates though, it's kind of what the desk is foretold. It's going to be this dive mirror, just the Winston look here from Kuffa and Wrecking Ball from Infected.
Kuffa already bullied out of position. Oh, nice snipe onto Zera there, little right click. Take that. How Zera wasn't healed up there, a bit unfortunate. Point's not even unlocked yet. It's going to be quick for Zera to get back, but they've lost all that space that they initially had. Here it comes. Yeah, the Doomed versus Zera. Pharah Echo is pretty rough for the Pharah sometimes. We'll see if Doomed can get bullied enough by Infected, who's going to be doing a lot of damage to the Echo in the skies with the left click. Fantastic to get out of there, though. Timers do end up capping first.
This is where the Wrecking Ball can struggle a little bit because you're still looking and waiting for a specific setup with these cooldowns to be active with the grapple. Infected already has to get out of there because you're so low. That's another little bit of stall that you have to see for this Wrecking Ball to get set back up again.
They're pretty quick at doing so, taking all the mega packs, but yeah, they still need to reclaim that space. They do end up forcing Vision's recall there, and a good move from Admiral stops Vision just dashing out of that doorway. So they're a player up right now. Infected just get booped around. A little Suzu to save his life, however. Going to bowl around this point, but the staying power from Timeless is going to be quite apparent in just a moment as Cover's nearing in this primal rage. Lucamino, however, is going to turn this one on his head, losing that sound barrier after Doomed ends up falling down. It's going to be CJ receiving a sound barrier as well from Admiral. And Timeless losing players so early, it's going to result in a quick cleanup here from Nightmare.
All right, Nightmare finally going to be able to get the flip after they get Vision off of the point, but that's still 56% progress here for Timeless before we finally start to see some progress here from Nightmare. That is a lot of ultimates, though, that they get to roll with. The minefield, maybe not the most impactful of the ultimates that we've seen when Wrecking Ball has that up. Seeker actually whiffed a Pulse Bomb, though, somewhere.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb gone. Out of the bank of a Nightmare. They're going to lay those mines down on the point. Oh, Kuffa face tanking a couple of them. Need some health right now. Double Tracer on the point as Doom copies Seeker. And with the barrage and this rush, the Pharah is doing so much damage. You can see how fast those rockets are firing, but it looks like Time is dodging out for them for the time being. Unfortunately, can't get out of the way of those mines, though. Quickly clears up the dupe, and then Doomed stranded on the point. This Nightmare still have the barrage in their back pocket as well. Timers with nothing in their bank to use. Good direct, actually, onto Vision. He might end up going down again. Yep, Vision dead.
That Winston bubble just barely not there in order to actually save him from the onslaught that came that way. And it's going to be Timeless once again going back to spawn after such an expensive fight. The rushes were used on both sides, that duplicate gone as well. And so you're really looking at Lucamino trying to get at that sound barrier up and ready to match that of Admiral's, which is going to be coming up shortly. Otherwise, it's going to be Nightmare in the feed. Fire Barrage still at the ready for Zero to deploy. Oh my goodness.
Cover narrowly
So
getting out of that one. Manages to leap back on to the map after Infected almost got the environmental. Sound barrier comes in. Lucamino's 5% away from here. They need to be able to win this fight, or at least sustain through it. All right, Lucamino's no got the sound barrier, but Nightmare is still in control. Seeker ends up getting eliminated by Doomed in the periphery. As Zera hunting and searching for a place to use this barrage. Lucamino unable to use this sound barrier, but no, manages to get it off in the end. Oh, as a pause comes through. We're back in. No more hard drive talk, and no more Rose giving you terrible, terrible tech support advice. All right, Seeker is back. Yeah, unfortunately, no ultimate charge. And Nightmare still control the point, but 99% will end up getting flipped. So one more fight for them.
Yeah, I mean, Lucamino had the sound barrier there too, so it felt like an inevitability that Timeless were going to actually win out that fight. And with Seeker coming back in on the Tracer, you are able to get back into things mighty quickly. Looking at Infected being able to get these minefields up though, and you do have that one more fight to go in with that, plus the Kitsune Rush.
Squid narrowly escapes with his life there. These mines going to be tricky to kind of deal with, and Seeker's back. Oh yes, back on the board too. Nice little kill on to Squid as there is the flip. That was a very easy fight for Nightmare. A little bit too easy, it felt like. Lucamino isolated by the Wrecking Ball. And this is where the Wrecking Ball really does thrive as well. Just in these last-ditch attempts to try and touch, it's very easy to solo kill people as the ball. There is a recall from Vision. And it's getting the pulse as well, so a touch and a kill from the Tracer, and even a doomed copy. So they are prolonging this fight, but they need the kills. They need presence on this point. I think it's a slow bleed out now, unfortunately, as Doomed can't even get the kill onto the Pharah, and there it is, Nightmare with a round 1.
And Seeker was going to have pulse bomb anyway. Just in case you needed it as an insurance policy, you did have it. Celebratory sound barrier there from Admiral, but that was a pretty convincing point win for Nightmare.
All right, despite the DC.
Yeah, Wrecking Ball,
pretty good about that. Ooh, Seeker, okay.
Yeah, you gotta brush that
Okay,
off.
now they're jumping over to the Sombra, so expecting a little bit more, well, they want a little bit more of an aggressive push here onto Cuffer, shut Cuffer down a little bit. No Wrecking Ball for Infected, jumping back to Winston. A bit of a worse map for the Ball, to be fair. You'd much rather just play Winston here. It's exactly what we'll see. And a little bit of a comp swap as well for Timers. Even Doomed over to Pharah now, not Echo.
We've seen this from both teams, though, as we've entered into Lijiang Market. So Nightmare, we ended up seeing this versus their match and Citrus Nightmare. So I think that just it really fits the bill when you look at this Pharah as well as this Winston. Like the Virus can also be pretty impactful versus something like the Pharah if you can be a little predictive with a shot like that. But still, MP can help ground that Pharah.
Doomed going inside the bubble there. Quite uncommon for the Pharah to do. It's got all cooldown, so no real fear of getting dove by Infected. Point is being capped, and ooh, if that's Seeker's PC crashing again, oh man, I hope it's not. But we are going to jump into another pause.
Me too.
Damn. Welcome back. We're all good. Seeker is back in the lobby. We should be jumping into the map in mere moments. Nightmare versus Timeless. 1-0 right now on control as we jump into Night Market. There we go. Seeker is back in the action. Timers are going to cap, and yeah, Nightmare are out of there. They don't want to stick around. It's quite unfortunate, too, at the time that Seeker did crash, because 0% ult charge, like, has to build up to that EMP again, which is the big, crucial ultimate that they need to win some of these fights.
I think he only had 20%, but still, it's like something that you could work with. You gotta let that be water off your back, though, as you head into the rest of this match. Gotta find your way back into things. Maybe it's gonna be a quick hack on the Pharah with Winston to really set yourself up. And CJ does have this Kitsune rush.
All looking at Doomed right now. Managed to escape through that upper window. Quick rush, quick point flip there for Nightmare. I mean, Timers have got the tools to bring this one back quite easily. Yeah, they're going to start with this rush on the point. There's no way Admiral survives this. This dive is going to be too intense for the little Lucio. Infected 2 is going to go down. Yeah, they got no chance. Good bounce back there by Timers. Only giving Nightmare 17%.
Yeah, but this is where the going might get a little bit tough, as Seeker is going to finally get that EMP online. You've got the Primal Rage as well from Infected. So the Lucamino has a big choice here to make. Do you actually try to keep the sound barrier for a response to the EMP, or do you feel like you're going to need it against something like this Primal Rage?
Yeah, how do they counteract this? Ooh, Zera getting a little bit of information who's hiding on the far right-hand side. Looks like it's a Kiriko right now. That being Squid. Doomed with the... Still got the barrage, still waiting for it. Actually, you can use the Primal Rage first, aiming for that Lucio. Yeah, Admiral. I mean, the Primal Rage with the Pharah barrage. Kind of an anti-synergy there sometimes, but it did isolate Admiral, and it's an easy pick-off. 4 ultimates for Nightmare. They're on final fight, though.
Yeah, so Lucamino preserving the sound barrier is going to be a great answer to this Seeker EMP. And you just look at everything else that Nightmare has, though, and wonder if that is going to actually be enough here for Timeless to seal the deal.
Oh, what an early EMP.
The EMP is so
They managed to catch Cuffer, though. The sound barrier from Lucamino, it did manage to connect, but not with Cuffer. All right, that's the Timeless back off. Yeah, they know they can't even take a small engagement without the Winston.
down. They don't want to get staggered there either because that just gives up even more progress. But they do force out the Primal Rage with that stick on.
Yeah, both Zeus have been used as well. Kuffa, Seeker traded. Sound Barrier comes in for Nightmare. Really putting pedal to the metal. Pretty early fight. That was a good stick initially. Can they get the trade? No, they can't get the kill. All good though.
Oh, Doom just gonna switch over to the Reaper. Another one of those pocket picks we've seen a couple of teams really pick up on, and that's gonna be great into this Winston. So if Infected wants to try to jump in, you gotta think twice about that. You've got those Hellfire shotguns on the rush.
So quick. Unfortunately, not quick enough by the looks of it. Pulse Bomb in the hands of Zera, still waiting for that Wraithform. There it is, chasing the Reaper now. Don't even need to go that far, to be honest. And that's a team kill, a rather swift one at that. Oh, missed the blink.
Big deal here for Nightmare to get this to final fight territory for themselves, too. Azera with this Pulse Bomb could actually just shut it down now. Doomed doesn't want to try the Reaper again, going back over to the Pharah.
I mean, what ultimates the Timeless have? They got Primal Rage in like 10%. A manual hack on the Lucio or the Pharah here could be golden. Yeah, Lucamino does get hacked, but there's the Pulse Bomb. Oh, War Road straight into Squid as well. Little team kill there from Lucamino. Timeless, they need to touch. Oh my, okay. Or Nightmare, they do get the touch in the end. Timeless almost does stole that map away from them. Nightmare are slowly like bleeding out there regardless of them getting the double pulse kill. Kuffa's come up large. Seeker and Amble are going to go down. And Time is still in control at this point. Vision's going to come back through with this pulse bomb. And Lucamino and Squid, apparently Timeless don't need him.
That fight just wasn't by the point. And so while you have all of this happening over in the actual open area, the objective is going for Timeless. We're going to head into a round number 3 here as Timeless are able to get the Pharah to the finish line.
Yeah, this is a good fight.
Wow, honestly, like, that was great, yeah.
Man, that pulse, that should have been round over.
It really should have.
Nightmare's struggling to touch at the very end, like that OT almost ticked through and Timeless almost got a free win, but yeah, Kuffa came up large and ooh, the Malgas on either side, then Zera on the Pharah. I love Pharah and Control Center recently. I think it's been so strong. Small corridors to spam in, and then you can hold to the high ground as well. Get some free value.
Just sit there on that platform.
Exactly. Genji for Doom, though. Cover just evaporated. I think Doom's long for the world either. There you go, all dead. Oh, God. That was a very quick fight. Cover just running out of healing resource, I'd imagine. Already used that cardiac overdrive earlier on in the fight. That'll be a Nightmare's point to take.
And now this is where the Pharah really gets to thrive. Look at these rockets down the choke point. You can even get the nice little pivot so that you can head into server as well with those rockets.
Oh, damage coming out from Doomed.
Jeez.
Look at that, though. Instantly healed up by Infected. It's just such, cardiac overdrive, just such a strong ability, but Doomed is just doing so much damage on the Genji. No one was looking at Doomed either. That whole fight, just right-click after right-click into Vision's head.
Get to push up a little bit close, too, knowing that Squid has this amp matrix, but you gotta be a little careful, because CJ can answer that with his own. But yeah, Doomed is gonna have Blade soon, after all of that. I don't know if that Nightmare are quite ready for that one. Admiral's not even close to the sound
Double window,
barrier.
lamps come up as well, but Zera's already dead. The damage from Doomed once more, just, yeah, not getting looked at. Lijiang doesn't want to go down to a random 3 burst there from CJ. Another team kill coming through. Okay, and now Doom's got the Blade. Blade beats, they got Cage, the Cage Blade, the classic, El Clasico.
Yeah, but Nightmare have the Cage Barrage.
So we'll see which one's better.
I think I'm gonna give that one to the Barrage.
A very early Cage coming in. Sound barrier hits though. Doom still holding on to this Blade as the high noons popped off by both the Genji, both the Cassidys. And he comes up with a large 2-piece onto Cover and Vision, holding that corner for so long. Doom still with the Blades, 250 HP. He manages to kill CJ and April. A scrappy affair. As Timeless are still in control of the point, but it's a 2v1, and Doom's going to be able to stall. Has the cooldowns available to do so as Vision comes back on the Tracer. Seeker did come up with a couple of kills on the Deadeye and actually kills Vision on the entry. A deflection there on to Cuppa. Receives the lamp just to stay alive, but cut down at the hands of Zera, who's gone on to a Genji of his own.
Noticing that Doom just been finding infinite value with his own Genji, so may as well bring it out too. But now that you finally see this point flipped over, what an expensive fight we just saw for both sides as they used both cages, all of the DPS ultimates. So it's going to be Admiral and Nightmare that have the sound barrier advantage, which will be really good to try to tie up the score.
Yeah,
Outside like a
good kill though onto Lucamino. Decent bit of deflect damage from Zera. Not going to hold forward, they're going to back off real fast. 74%. Don't want to randomly get picked off either by Seeker.
You can get these amp matrices now from both teams. It's Timeless that was able to get the better hand of that one in server last time.
Both windows used again. Oh, Zera gets the deflect kill through the window. Whoever is firing, guaranteed the kill onto Vision. Final fight. Retreat for Timeless. It's been very, a little bit more definitive this time around, these fights. I think with this blade, there's no cage here for Infected, but Zera can still make mean work of Squid if he gets his hands on him.
Yeah, with the Deadeye
They're
too.
gonna go fast.
Deadeye and Blade.
Slam hits Seeker though, undisturbed, still holding on to it. And there it is, Seeker, 3K with the high noon. Timeless don't even get a chance to use anything as Nightmare clean them up. There it is. Despite the PC crashes, it's all good. Nightmare come up with a win on the first map. Yeah, a little thorn in the side, you know, it comes sometimes interrupts the flow of the game, but apparently doesn't matter. Seeker still chilling on the Cassidy. Comes at large with the 2 high noons, 2 really big ones at the very end of that game.
Yeah, really great boop from Admiral too to help set those up, just so they're right in the sight lines of that Cassidy. But yeah, fantastic stuff from Nightmare. We did end up seeing Market get taken by Timeless though. So as we might have expected, this match could be pretty close, even though we did see Nightmare get this first map win.
Yeah, there we go. 1 on the board. Let's have a look at highlights from that game. Just a couple of pauses. So maybe you forgot what happened at the very start. Yeah, like you said, Rose. 2 and 1. Pretty close so far, although yeah, Seeker's Cassidy looks so clean on that last round. It was literally just one pig and then back off, one pig, then back off. Classic control. See where we go next as well. Timeless with Vision and Doom. They've been very impressive over the last couple of weeks. It must be said. Cannot be understated either.
It's also been a long day for them though. Like they already had to play earlier today with their match versus Citrus Nightmare to send them home, and now they find themselves here having to play against Nightmare. So poor Timeless, like they definitely had to work hard.
Yeah, a little short break, yeah, in between the games, but that's just the nature of the main events. If you're down the lower bracket, it's going to be a hard-fought battle to make it all the way through to potentially the finals. NRG Shock already there. And the winner of this match, too, is going to face Toronto. So I think a lot of people are hoping for this Nightmare squad to make that debut again against Toronto Defiant. Maybe get some revenge. They've seen NRG Shock do it, who've still not lost to Toronto Defiant, by the way. Maybe they can use some of that energy, use some of those secrets, too. Just click heads like PG did. Fill out the PG apology form.
Yeah, it's just as easy as that. It's as
click heads like Cal too on the Alari.
So true though.
All right, map pick now for Timeless. So they did end up going down. It's going to be a dive map. There's absolutely no way. In fact, I'll tell you what it is. I think I can see it. Paraiso, I believe, is the map. Up next, Hybrid is the choice. So just run and dive. But I mean, Nightmare and Timeless, they have been the teams that just want to run dive perma. They don't really want to run the brawl. Infected happy to go to either Ball or the Winston. Not seen too much Diva from him. Way better on the Winston, definitely his best pick. And there it is, picked by Timeless.
Yeah, why give them the opportunity to bring us to like an Eichenwald or a Blizzard world even. I think Paraiso is just the perfect place to run the Winston. Even though it's not a map that we generally see teams actually want to pick, I think it works out really well here for Timeless just to put Kuffa on the Winston and know that you don't have to think about flexing over to anything else.
Yeah, it's been a map that's gained popularity over the last week or so. It's not been a popular one in the groups at the very least, or at least the ones that have been on stream. So Paraiso is going to be the map we end up going to. There's a lot of things you can play too. You can play a more defensive backline. You can play the Ana Brig, which I would imagine most teams are going to go towards. Alari is quite possible. You can still play Lucio. You can play Lucio on pretty much any map, right? But Brig...
You could play Lucio.
Yeah, Lucio Kiri. If you want to go super fast. Bap's very powerful on this map because of how easy it is to get to the high ground. And the high ground... This map is all high ground, basically. So that's also pretty powerful. Looks like both teams opting for Ana Brig, at least for now. And Zera and Doomed on the Echoes. So we saw a little bit of Pharah earlier. But with these dives, the Echo just seems so much more powerful. The poke... very good with the Pharah, pretty decent at like softening targets up. Echo's mobility and being able to get in there and even just burn tanks with that focusing beam. It's just such a good tool in these very fast-moving comps.
Yeah, you're also, I don't think, too pressed to have to go face to face with something like an Ashe either. Your own Echo. Just to, you know, just bypass the coach gun. Totally fine.
Don't give Seeker an opportunity.
It's time.
He will take
That was
it.
close. Doom dodging out the headshot, and there is the Tracer for Seeker.
Very honorable duel on both sides as we see almost perfect mirror match here. Vision, though, on the Ashe is going to be a big difference maker here as you see that dynamite burn. Going to do a ton of damage over time.
Yeah, force the recall too, which is kind of annoying for Seeker. It's all about diving this Ashe. Hard at the best of times, but with this Brig too. Oh, that was a good nade. I'm sure they can follow that up though. It's going to be even more difficult with this Brig. Yeah, you can see Infected trying to make some space. Oh, Squid missed that shot onto Doomed. It's going to cost him his life.
Nice.
Couldn't quite get around that corner in time. I don't think there's a nade available. Seeker needs a little pack. Yeah, gets it from Admiral. And now here comes the wraparound. Look at how defensive now Timeless have to play in this small little room, and Cover taking a lot of damage from the Seeker. A couple little back shots thrown in there, and with 3 minutes to go, Nightmare are going to gain some control on this point as Zera takes this high ground.
Doomed is going to come back on the Tracer as well off the Echo just to make it back for this defense point.
If you can get this Bob online, you will be able to take control. Cuffers receives the nade there, just struggling to keep alive. I mean, against Zera on this high ground, you walk through the door, that's a face full of stickies. Infected is going to get this nano boost as well. They're going to trade nanos. One of them is going to get applied onto Infected, but Squid couldn't end up getting his off. And that will be Infected and Zera cleaning this one up. And if Squid managed to... Who's he calling? It's calling Squid. Where's that nano boost? Do you not want to use it? If Cover received that nano, maybe that would have been a different story there.
It's hard to know whether or not you should invest, I think, in that moment. Ooh.
Ooh.
Pulse bomb could be huge.
That was
Barely
close.
misses.
Nice movement there from Vision.
Payload's making very steady progress through the streets phase.
Wow, Seeker dead. Not really a hero Seeker super known for on the Tracer, more on these long-range hit scans. Good step up. You don't really expect Vision to be all the way up like that on the ground, but Vision making good use of the space from Cuffer.
All right, 5 ultimates here for Timeless. That nano has to be deployed here, you would assume.
Nade onto Vision. That's a good nade. Can they get a kill? Yeah, easily followed up by Infected. An equally good nade, but unfortunately, it being on Infected, it's not exactly the target you want. CJ dead to a pulse bomb. As Infected goes in, pops the Primal Rage, and now Doomed is looking for Zera. Normally a pretty decent target, this Echo. A duplication of the Ana. I don't think Zera is going to get this nano boost. 8 seconds to go, though, I say that. No, there's absolutely no way. He gets the mega health pack, should be able to get out of there, but a crack shot from Vision, followed up with the, I think that was Squid and Cuppa also hitting Zera at the same time, so you just explode.
Yeah, Cuppa got the secondary fire into the Echo. That was really funny to watch. Still no nano boost deployed here from Squid. I guess knowing that like Cuppa has to use the Primal Rage there, not really a whole lot of sense to add that on top. But now you still have it for this next fight. CJ can match it though.
Nano boost.
Ooh, nano Echo.
Onto Zera, just get Koshgunned away, and nano boost onto Vision. So yeah, you want to nano your Echo to dive bomb? We're going to nano Vision so we can one-tap one here. So there's absolutely no way you end up going for that trade. And with this Bob too, this is a hilarious amount of time to be stalling out on this little corner here. Pulse Bob onto Vision, sends the Bob out there, realizes they were stuck. Still a 5-on-5 if you count the Bob. There's a Pulse Bomb onto Infected too. This stall is incredible.
It's just not been a clean team fight win from anybody. Particularly Nightmare, who are just so eager to get this payload past that second checkpoint. And with sub 2 minutes now, and nothing else in the bank, you're just hoping that Zera can get a duplicate, or even you just get a raw pick for this next fight. The time must have made this so scrappy. Like this has just not been clean.
It's not. Now, Zera's nearing this duplication, so you could send double Winston in. Very possible. All right, Infected trying to get some more space, and Vision decides, yeah, I'm not shooting that bubble, I'm just going to shoot the rest of your team. Set to light the back line, and this payload is barely moved. Just slowly being tapped, so it's not like regressing in progress, but it's just not it right now. Another dynamite lands. Zera close to this form again. This duplication's coming up. There's the nano. A whip shot. Leap in 1 second. Spots the Ash, but there's probably a coach gun in a couple of seconds. Oh no, just a nano instead. Sleep Dart goes a little bit wide there as Infected tries to separate the supports from each other. A decent juggle, but still has to be scared of Vision just popping him in the head. Cuppa is down, and a duplication from Zera. A beautiful sleep, in fact, onto the Ash. Oh, an even better one, though, from Squid. This spawn position really helping out Timeless right now as Zera is set ablaze. 30 seconds to go, and Nightmare, they cannot get this payload moving. It's like giving a cat a salt shaker. It's just not happening.
No opposable thumbs, unfortunate. You've got the secret pulse bomb, but that's it. Like, Nightmare is still in this position where they only have that to work off of. Zera, in fact, is actually going to switch off of the Echo. Wants to try to get the Ash to work instead. But you have a Bob here from Timeless to keep stalling out this defense.
All right, pulse one from Seeker. He's got to find somebody. Gets the Winston. There it is, Cuppa down. Okay, now is their time to strike. Bob deployed from Vision. Seeker scurrying for cover as Bob is just shooting away Infected, taking infinite damage in the front line. And Vision comes up with a shot onto CJ. A kill. Someone has to touch. It's going to be Infected, but Squid with a double nade kill. A triple, in fact. Nano deployed to finish it all off. And Timeless hold Nightmare just before second. That was a struggle for Nightmare.
It was not looking good, especially even though they had like some fights where they did have a couple extra ultimates over Timeless's. Like, they were not able to capitalize. I think it speaks volumes that there was one point where Timeless on the defense had 5 ults. And they're like, we don't even need the nano here. We're just gonna like hold it indefinitely.
It was just so many, like, oh, we got to pick with a pulse. Okay, great. Now we try and put, oh, we got picked. Like CJ or like someone goes down. And then slowly, Timeless is just resetting.
Cautious.
Right. Yeah, I happen to agree, yeah. There was no, it didn't feel like there was an all-in engage, like all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like Nightmare played so scared of the dynamite damage coming through from Vision's Ash. Like, that was something I feel like you always were just hesitant. Like, okay, Infected's taking a ton of damage. We gotta wait, we gotta wait. We gotta wait, like, let's make sure that the Echo is in a good position. Zera, where are you? Do you have good sight lines on somebody? And I think Timeless just played really well around that high ground. And Nightmare had not very good access to get there.
All right, let's see what they've got for this next round. because on the defense, they're just going to run Seeker on the Ashe and then Zera on Tracer. So no Echo, no Flyers. Feels like a much more confident setup for Nightmare with Seeker on a long-range hit scan. The time is just going to stick with this comp they've been playing for quite a number of matches, especially recover on the Winston.
I go for Doomed again.
Good damage on CJ.
Oh, the stickies are going to be huge.
Forces the nade, which is nice. Gives Timeless a lot of space. They don't have to worry about anybody getting antied. A lot of damage from Doom too is going to force Nightmare all the way back. Kind of reminiscent of the last rounds as Infected isolated. Good bubble positioning from Cuffer. Stops the healing on to the Winston. You can see why Timeless went to this map. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. That is a very quick point A capture. And it is going to be a lot of time on the clock to get through to the second point. That's 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Any other picks here would also be brutal for this Nightmare defense. Timeless are hunting for it, already sending Kuffa up onto the high ground just to blow them away. Infected has been enemy number 1 with all of this focus fire. Doomed is hunting for him.
As soon as you see Infected jump or like make their way in, it's easy to kind of make sure Infective can't gain anything of value apart from a little bit of tick damage. Just focus him out, force him to jump away. Strains the healing resources in the backline as well, which frees up some damage on the DPS. Nano on to the Echo. Seeker is a 1000% dead to that. And these sticky bombs are going to hurt too. They're in a good stead right now. They've got the dupe. They've got Rally coming up as well. And Infected is almost down. There's the nano boost onto the Winston. Infected has still got Primal Rage. Doom actually just goes for the dupe. So they've at least forced one ult out. A couple little bits of right-click damage here as Infected descends on the front line, but now has to deal with this Primal Rage. A good little juggle, but Squid slips out of there. As Lucamino with the Rally is going to make sure they're nice and sustained for this next fight. Cuffer is dead, but Doom's going to replace him with the Winston duplicate, and unfortunately is going to fade away without getting much done. And towing the line now between victory and defeat. Nightmare on the defense. Got to defend this small little golden square, or this golden rectangle. As time is have full control of the high ground, Rose.
4 minutes left too, and you've got, full control. The pulse bomb at the ready. It feels like a matter of time before we're going to see Timeless actually take this map.
Pulse and see her straight back to the moon, Winston.
That's it.
Yeah, now Admiral's just perma holding shield. Zera's the only one to touch. Shield bash onto Vision's going to proc the Inspire, but Admiral is dead. 2 meters to go. And that will be that. Timeless on their map pick on Paraiso. End up tying up the series. We got a game, ladies and gentlemen.
We do have a game. We were hoping that this would be close. Maybe a 3-1, maybe a 3-2, and so far it is delivering. Good to see the Winston get the Winston job done on that map pick 2 of Paraiso.
Yeah, Nightmare looked flat, in all honesty, Rose, in that game. Like you said, maybe a little bit of indecision, like undecisiveness on that second point. Didn't feel like they ever went for like a full-on dive commit, like jump in with the Echo, just dive in with the Winston, get the nano. A lot of the time, they're just getting pushed back by the Ashe, the Dynamite, the Sticky, like just everything kind of thrown at them before they can even do anything. And very much a timeless game, one-sided for sure. Nightmare gets their chance to pick, and it might be another one of those series where we just see like, oh, we pick our map, we win. You pick your map, you win. And then we just go all the way to map number 5 again.
I'm here for it. For giving the viewers times to get
so
their drop.
true. The Rams
like that's all I gotta say. It was the speed run for the first half of the day, so now we gotta make sure you can get the drops.
Yeah. Where do you think we're gonna go? Because with this dive, especially with the Echo, like Timeless looked very clean, very organized, drilled.
I would love to see if we actually end up getting a chance to bring Clear into the roster. Maybe go to New Junk City, bring the Mauga, bring the Zarya again. I think maybe you can kind of expect, though, on most of those maps, you actually can run a little bit more of the brawl, but I still think it's in your best interest to try to pick New Junk City first before having to even think about going to Suravasa.
Could also whip out the Seeker special, Bastion, on Circuit.
Yeah, Circuit.
Little escort. would make the most sense to me,
Yeah, I
because
could see
that
that
way
too.
you're also denying an escort pick from Timeless, because Timeless probably don't want to go to Circuit Royale because of how
Probably want to go to Dorado.
well, yeah, exactly, because of how well Nightmare have done on it historically. Dorado would seem like the perfect pick if you're in Timeless's shoes, so I think Circuit here for Nightmare makes the most sense. Play the Bastion.
Yeah.
They continue to play this comp, and it continues to work for Nightmare. There is the map pool. And then as well, if you go to Flashpoint, even if you're taken to Suravasa, you're like, okay, we can still sub in clear, because we can still play these brawl comps.
Yeah, no, I like that too. I think I like that a lot better. I think you make a really good argument to just take Circuit Royale first, because you look at the rest of the escort maps and you go, Junkertown, Dorado, Shambali.
Yeah, no one's going Junkertown, I promise you that. So it's going to be, yeah, you'd think that Timeless wanted to go to Dorado. And yeah, there it is. Okay, Circuit Royale picked by Nightmare. So we're going to see Seeker on the Bastion. Ain't no way. And, well, Timeless know this is going to happen. There's no shot they've not seen the VODs or watched the games. They know Nightmare are going to be picking Bastion here. We'll see how they end up coming into it. If they've got any new ideas to try and counter it.
It's been a little bit tough going, I think, for teams to really figure it out. You know, Nightmare able to clean up that series versus Fluffy Dreamland yesterday on this Circuit Royale pick. Maybe you gotta think about taking a page out of Toronto's book. Toronto was the only team so far to be able to upset Nightmare on this pick.
All right, let's get it popping. Seeker, I imagine, just going to get the quick grapple out and then swap to Bastion. Yep, Sarah's on the main. Infected on the Rhine. I'm ready for some Bastion.
It's all coming together.
See Timeless. So they're going to run Doomed on the Pharah, Vision on the Hanzo. So pretty decent at punishing the Bastion. As soon as you pop the turret form, you just kind of layer in the Storm Arrows, and also it pressures the Rhine Shield quite a bit. The Rhine Shield is going to have to be used sparingly from Infected, because you are going against a spam comp, realistically. Apart from Cuffer, I mean, you can spam it right-click, but you'd think Sigma's more of a spam hero here. There it is, Seeker on Bastion. Okay, let's see if Doomed and Vision can counteract this.
Vision's going to help out a lot with the Rhine Shield too, and then I think you hope that maybe you're able to get a couple of big Storm Arrows once you see that Bastion really vulnerable. Big pivot. Kappa has to play so careful against all of that spam damage.
Oh, 1 HP.
He's so low.
Kappa makes it out alive. It's tough too, because Zera, if you remember back to the series, Nightmare's previous series, Zero is just holding that top right permanently, even on the attack, pushing all the way up, stopping the Winston players, getting away with it, taking free space. Seekers pop this turret form. And there goes Cuffer, in and out. And Cuffer's doing a lot of AoE damage here. Of course, the Primal Rage is 50%, but not doing much apart from that. Like, you're not getting much done if you're the Winston here. It's going to be a very tough battle.
There's nanos coming up soon for Squid, though, so I wonder if you, well, you gotta wait through this Ant Matrix first.
I mean, this is the Timeless strat, Nightmare strat. Pop the window down, have Seeker behind it, laser someone with 1 billion damage, and then hit someone with a right-click and insta-kill, and then take first. Like, that is the playbook there for Nightmare.
Yeah, there's no surviving through that Ant Matrix from CJ. Like, even if you have the nano, maybe you can send Kappa in to block top bubble down on top of that Bastion, but like, yikes, like anything is going to be absolutely disintegrated by the time that you actually are able to set that up. Timeless so far, not had much of a defense. They finally have ultimates to use, though, so maybe this is where they can start to dig their heels in. Nano from Squid.
You've got the Dragons too, just split the team up. There's the charge though. Dragons all right at the feet of Infected. Oh, he's going to kill him too. Seeker's super low, booped out of the Immortality field by Doomed. An insta-kill after the Pharah gets nanoed. Really nice. And I mean, that's going to be the keys to success for Timeless. Getting a nano onto Doom so they can just boop and then insta-kill Seeker. Good stagger as well onto CJ. It's going to delay some extra time.
Yeah, CJ not even able to get the pick off of Doomed either. So yeah, a lot of time off here, but you've got still like 4-minute time bank to have to get through. Mortar strikes have been so fun to watch from Seeker. He's always very hesitant and patient on that.
Oh, dude! Oh, they didn't see that one coming. Oh my goodness. Doom sets up and delivers. Well, the wave respawn came in, guys. All good.
For the mortar strike.
We all spawn at the same time.
Oh my god. Yeah, you just don't have any time to set up if you're gonna have the Fair Barrage right in your face. Never mind the mortar strikes. You gotta
Quick
set
reset.
back up.
Quick clip for Twitter.
Oh. That is crazy.
Okay. Seek with the mortar strike.
Now the
1,
mortar
2,
strike.
and then waits with 1. Just waiting for it. 1, 2, waits with 1. Last one coming in. Ooh, ends up going a little bit wide there. That nade almost hitting Squid in the back line. Still fighting on this rush, though. The Pharah is so deadly. But the lamp actually giving immense value to Nightmare there, as they manage to survive the onslaught of damage from Doomed. Oh, and a fire strike from downtown kills the Pharah. Cuffer, what's he got to say about this fight? I mean, he's in. Primal Rage has been popped. Seeker's going to have the shift, this transform in a couple of seconds. As soon as Cuffer hears that, he's out of there, but not before he manages to get a kill. Oh, a bank shot hits Lucamino, but Lucamino teleports away from the damage. Cuffer, the savior there for Timeless. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, Cuffer's Winston has to be so elite in order to deal with this Bastion. I feel like Bastion has always been sort of the one hero that can tear apart a team. Like, how is your team coordination to deal with a pick like that? Oh yeah, so Cuffa, like a good bubble management.
Care for Doomed.
Really good pressure onto the back line.
Doom's got Barrage.
Yeah, Doomed has it.
He's got Nano as well. Slowly but surely making their way up the hill. Seeker's already used that form for a little bit of space. There's the Nano, there's the nade, there's the lamp, where's the damage? Doom coming in, doesn't even need the barrage, I don't think. Taking a fair bit of firepower there coming through from Zero. Actually just right-clicks him to death. The Lucamino trying to get out of there, just receive a couple of healing shots from a Squid. I mean, Lucamino manages to get out with the skin of his teeth. Might be a little 2v1 for Admiral, though. He's chasing down the support, and now Infected, of all people, is getting staggered on the Rhine. Admiral is also caught out. There's a minute to go. Seeker's going to try and take advantage of this chaos that's happening. Oh, Seeker. Oh, Seeker. Oh,
No
1
way.
HP. 1 HP manages to survive.
When you know that the Bastion is in its most vulnerable, it's kind of when, like, Junkrat ripping the tire. You know that they're going to be sitting there. All right, a couple of swaps here. Infected is going to go off the Reinhardt over to the Diva, knowing that there's only 45 seconds left for Nightmare to actually get this second checkpoint. Timeless have come up really big in this defense. There's a certain point where I feel like you look at this Bastion and maybe think it's not working as well as it was.
Beat you super early. Blizzard thrown on top as well. Zera making sure that nobody from Timeless can get in on their back line. Barrage from the high ground, though, and Doom using the tree for cover. That's 2 kills already, and it's both the supports, too. The kills that you want if you're the Pharah. There's a wall there to protect Zera, but I don't think Doom's just going to miss some of these rockets. 3 kills for the Pharah in the skies, and with 15 seconds to go, Nightmare on their last legs. This Bastion comp, they're switching away now, and Cuffer's even got Primal Rage, but I don't think they even need it. Infected's going to be able to get the touch.
They do not need it.
Nano boost onto the Pharah too. Now they've got to be extra scared. I mean, good luck, everybody else. Doom, though, it's just getting sniped by Zera, but the Primal Rage is going to be Cuffer's and Timeless's last final push into near Nightmare's spawn. I mean, look, Vision comes up with that kill, and it's only Seeker now on the point, trying to just re-trigger OT, because right now Infected is on sub 50 health. Can they touch again? Oh, Seeker manages to get it once more. Hits the recall too. They're keeping this alive somehow.
Yeah, but now with the Diva being demeched, it's not going to be enough to stall for anything. No ultimates in the bank. Great defense from Timeless. After that first point, it went so wrong for them.
Well, maybe they've discovered the secret to the Nightmare Bastion comp. Just give Doomed Nano on Pharah, hit some sick barrages. Yeah, looked a lot less clean than we're kind of used to seeing. Most teams are just getting rolled over by this Bastion from Nightmare.
This is the exact same comp, though, that we saw Toronto use to deal with the Mei Bastion Reinhardt strat. We saw it was an Ashe from Merit with the Pharah from Sugar Free, and then someone on Winston. As I said, just take a page out of Toronto's book, who actually was able to figure this out. Maybe a little different, but still the Pharah from Sugar Free went crazy into the Seeker Bastion.
Okay. They're going to run it again, of course. They're actually putting Infected on the Ram. I like the Ram a lot more, especially on the defense. You can hold corners a lot easier. You're not going nearly as quick, so you don't need the Rhyme. I can't imagine Timeless is going to swap up their comp. There's absolutely no way.
They don't need to. Like, as you were calling out, the Pharah is the perfect answer to the Bastion. The Bastion doesn't have the same type of reach to the Pharah as vice versa with those shots. The Mei too. I mean, the Pharah spam damage is so good to break down those Mei walls. The Ramatra gives you just a little bit of brawl power on the point, but how do you hit this? How do you hit this?
Oh,
Pharah?
not again. Yeah, Zera. This guy has been such a menace on this high ground, but Vision handily dealing with both Admiral. It's always been Zera and Admiral on that high ground, just holding the flank. It's Infected to save the day on the Ram, but the spawn positions are so good for Timeless that Nightmare are going to have to back up. They've already lost 2. They either back up or they just try and go for some Hail Mary kills, and Hail Mary they go for. Look at that, Doom dead. I think, yeah, Cup's going to fall as well. Good anti, but a better lamp from CJ.
So much better, and that's actually going to give Seeker a lot of time to set up and actually just shoot down the Pharah. That's twice now. We've actually seen Doomed not be able to find the picks we were hoping for from this hero. Gonna trail away a little bit and spawn to come back out, but Infected still gets to hold this first corner with the slow being put down onto the Winston too.
It's such a deadly combo. We saw it a couple of times, the slow, the Vortex with the Bastion. Or just like, as soon as the Winston jumps in, you just hit him with the Vortex and you just can't survive against Bastion. But, well, you can definitely survive now. Vision with a headshot kill onto Seeker. Cover super low, you gotta save him. That's Suzu, a fraction of a second too late. Unfortunately for Lucamino, they're unable to save cover as Nightmare. They're still holding on to this corner, despite the casualties. Oh, they deploy the Nano. Okay, just breaking open this first corner hold might be worthwhile just expending. And you can use the rush for the next point, so definitely the right call there by Times.
And now you've got the barrage too. You actually have a pretty good number of ultimates to choose from for this next fight, but I like the rush first. Then you have the Primal Rage and the barrage if you need it. Not a great close defensive hold here from Nightmare as you see this Pharah holding down that front line.
I'm scared. I'm scared of Doom's barrage.
I'm scared for them too.
There's the rush straight onto Seeker. That form's going to expire in just a moment. Yeah, Cub's not afraid to go in. Here's the second leap onto the backline and pops the Primal Rage. Oh, almost a one-shot there from the Rockets. Doomed. Oh, connects with that direct one onto Zera. 1 meter to go, and Cuppa has got a handle on this fight. Had Annihilation. Going to get bubbled off. Seeker's 1 HP, and Cuppa with 3 kills for Timeless. And 3 minutes and 45 seconds as they move up around this corner. And Nightmare aren't going to be switching by the looks of it. Although I say that, okay, Seeker's on Widow. No more Bastion for Nightmare.
I think this is the point where you have to think about giving it up here. It's not worked for you to move that payload any farther than that little golden box of victory, and now you're staring down the barrel of losing on your map pick. So Widow for Seeker, Diva for Infected. Diva, hopefully this defense matrix can be huge to eat up this Fair Barrage. Doomed is ready.
Oh, Seeker saw vision for maybe 2 frames there. Counter Snipers back at it again. And they can hold this corner with Barrage as well. Who's going to touch here for Nightmare? They're going to have to actually use the sound barrier to get there in time. 1 meter and 62 to go is the Barrage from the high ground, or from the skies even. It's a Nano on the Pharah as well. Oh, the support's also vulnerable. Good dive there from Cover, softening up the targets for Doomed. And that'll be it. Timeless taking down Nightmare on their map pick. The specialty Bastion map for Nightmare as well. They managed to suss it out. They figured out how to counter that one, and they will bring themselves to match point in the lower bracket.
We were thinking maybe for the series it would be we pick map, we win our map. And now that we've sort of adapted the script, that's not the case anymore. So do we actually end up seeing Clear get subbed in, maybe go to Mauga or D.Va or Zarya or something like that?
Yeah, we got Push and we got Flashpoint at the last maps.
Possible.
I mean, yeah, if in my head, maybe, yeah, Infected and the rest of Nightmare, they want to play Dive, so they go to Suravasa, they don't go to New Junk City. A lot to be seen. Probably going to see the new Runasapi as well, I would imagine, if either one of these teams gets to pick a push map. Oh, it's a back and forth series so far, but they finally defeated the Bastion on Circuit Royale. Let's jump over to the desk and they can break that one down.
Rejoice. Indeed, it's a close series. Timeless is looking good, but technically so does Nightmare, really. I mean, we talked about how their Brawl is probably looking a little bit better than Timeless's, and that showcased also, that was on showcase also on map 1, which was still very competitive. But one thing we also hit on was the dive from Timeless, and I feel like that was on full display here for sure. And Johnny, you had your eyes on Kaffa on that Winston.
Yeah, specifically on Circuit Royale, I gotta shout out Kaffa, because what Kaffa managed to do on that Winston, playing around Seeker's Bastion in a brawl composition like that, there is no room for error on Winston. If you do one wrong leap or like one messed up cooldown, you're about to take so much damage, you're about to be blown up. And the primal rage value that Kaffa got on that Circuit Royale, similarly as crazy. So I just gotta give huge props to Kaffa. Now we're at the point in the series we can confidently say that Timeless are looking really good in these type compositions. And I feel like it's in Nightmare's court to now continue to pick brawl maps and make it difficult for Timeless to pull off these compositions. This was a really impressive hold. It's really well executed. They knew that Nightmare was going to play this composition based on what they did in the upper bracket against Toronto Defiant, and they had the perfect composition to do it, but also they executed in a composition like this, which is very difficult to do.
Yeah, the Pharah and the Hanzo, I think, were really well-selected DPS that punished Seeker's Bastion, made it too difficult for him to get in. As you said, I think it's time for Nightmare to focus on the brawl in terms of the rest of the series. It's still very winnable for them, given that it's Push and Flashpoint up next. So I think, you know, kind of no matter what you go to, you can probably force a brawl. However, Timeless kind of asserting their dominance in the Winston dive mirror. I think especially Paraiso, you know, going to a map, that's kind of like saying, hey, look, we think we've got the better Winston. If you're going to go to Paraiso, you know it's going to be a Winston dive mirror. And Timeless in their comfort zone, they look great on that map. That was not super competitive. And so Nightmare now has to battle back in the series from behind, something that so far they haven't had to do before, right? They only, I mean, Toronto was able to deal with them, but they haven't been in this position down in 2 maps, have to win, no mistakes left. I'm curious to see where Nightmare go. Maybe you could decide, you pick the push to be in control of the push, thinking you could win either Flashpoint as they're not so good for Winston. But maybe you feel desperate, you got to get a win on Flashpoint right away. I don't know.
What would you be doing here? Are you just going to focus on your own strength here, play into that, like go to those brawl maps? Do you even take into consideration what is coming out from Timeless?
So here's what I'm scared of. Even if you go to a brawl map, it's not like a guarantee that you're going to win. I think that we even saw on Lijiang Tower Control Center that, you know, Kaffa will lock in the Mauga and you will be able to brawl on the Mauga. So we're instead going to see Runasapi being selected here. It's an interesting choice here from Nightmare, and we've seen a few different teams pull a few different looks on this map. So unsure what we're going to see from Nightmare here in this matchup. It's an interesting map pick.
Yeah, I think there is a possibility to just play Mauga on Runasapi and just shut down Kaffa's Winston, make it so he has to play something else. Where even on Circuit, I was surprised Kaffa doesn't bring out the D.Va, maybe much more comfortable on the Winston. Could be challenging though if he goes up against a Mauga.
All right, yeah, we'll see what they have in store for us. Timeless currently up 2-1 in this series. Once again, a reminder, this is an elimination match. So everything is on the line for both of these teams. One of them will be moving on to face none other than Toronto Defiant in the lower bracket finals. So unlucky or lucky, I don't know. One team will advance. Could it be Timeless? Is there a match point? We'll find out in just a little bit. Jack, Necro, please take it away.
Yep, Runasapi is the map pick, and yeah, what an honor to face Toronto, an angry Toronto too, in the lower bracket finals. Elimination time with Timeless on match point. We'll see what Nightmare have got to say about this one. Will we go to another map 5, Rose, today? That is going to be the question. A rather quick affair in EU, quick match 1 in NA as well. A map number 5 versus Toronto and NRG Shock not just a moment ago. Same could be said for this one as well, as we see Nightmare pick this map up and Seeker on the Sombra, trying to shut down Kuffa.
Okay, well, it's going to have to be everything thrown at Kuffa to shut him down, as you heard the desk talk about. What a phenomenal Winston to be able to bring to the table to deal with such a difficult pick like a Bastion. And so they know that they're going to have to bring out something special to deal with this maintained player. It's going to be an instant hack onto Kuffa as he peeks his head around this first corner.
Doom playing the Fire too. It's going to be quite susceptible to these hacks if he plays too close to the floor. Well, there's the kills. The manual hacks, they're good for one normally, even though those hacks don't last too long anymore. And Doomed lays it down by Seeker. We'll see if Doomed end up switching for Timeless. Switch on to a Sombra of their own, potentially, or going to stick on the Farah. No, going to stick on Farah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Doomed play a couple of different picks, but I feel like the Farah is definitely comfort for them. And so see if maybe if it works one more time.
Oh,
we haven't given up too much damage just yet, but
manual hack onto Vision. You saw the panic there on Vision. Just went for the melee, tried to do something to interrupt the hack, and didn't end up working out. It might just be checkpoint too. So early.
This is where I might consider actually trying to switch. Like, you just don't have the same amount of time to actually get this Farah set up. It's going to prove to be a little bit better in these open corridors, but how much of that do you really have on this
Stepping up again, you see, it's just virus, hack, virus, hack, virus, hack. God, you might as well just delete System 32 at this point, Kuffa. All right, there's the rush. This is certainly point for Nightmare. Kuffa, there's no way you stay alive long enough for the rush to run out. Nightmare making this one a speed run. We're not even 2 minutes in. They got checkpoint already.
Do we see a map completion? I don't know.
Oh, don't speak into existence just yet.
I'll leave that up to how it looks like after the EMP is let loose from Seeker. So I already have that though, and then some on Nightmare. Like, I just don't know if this Farah is going to.
Oh, good Suzu as well on Doomed there. That was really nice. A mid-air Suzu to make sure Doomed can stay alive. EMP lands. Kuffa. Oh, he's dead again. And Doomed is grounded by Seeker. 2 kills for Nightmare now. And losing Seeker and Infected used that Primal Rage. This rush, a rather late one for Timeless. Only 3 people benefiting from that one. And they're still going to be able to continue this fight on, as Lucamino's the only one there on the point. Vision quickly slayed by Zera as they continue their march towards this final checkpoint. 85 plus meters as they're almost rounding this final corner.
There, we're going to see the switches. It's Vision and Doomed actually going to be switching over here to... They're switching roles. So Vision's on the Sombra, Doomed on the Tracer.
All right, he decided, well, if you can do it, we can do it better, maybe. Pulse bomb onto Vision, though. No translocator, perhaps, so just immediately eliminated. Quick thinking there by Doom, just dashing into the building, breaking LOS of that manual hack. They're looking at Lucamino right now because they know he's got the sound barrier. That Sombra, that additional information too from the passive is just so valuable sometimes, knowing who has actually got ultimates. Lucamino cannot C9 this, or Ajax this, sorry.
No. Kind of, but I mean, the fact that you've got Rush.
Sound barrier still available, 24 HP in a small ball, but oh, it's the Ajax!
He's dead!
Caught in 8K. All good though, because Kuffa to the rescue. Like Superman leaping through the air, squishes the villains in CJ and Admiral. Those supports are down, and Kuffa once again finding massive value with the Primal Rage. Look at that, 130 meters to 0. We've seen crazier comebacks though, Rose. To be fair.
We have. If anything that EMEA has shown us is that these maps, even in this position, are losable. But just don't let it happen to you. Wow. Even after the Ajax, though, like, Kuffa's still able to clutch that out. And now you get to attack this with your own rush, your own pulse bomb.
Good Suzu.
Perfect Suzu there from CJ.
Bet you can use that Primal Rage. Lucamino down. Adding insult to injury there. First to die in this next fight. Infected just waiting for this hack to kind of wear off as he dives in once again. Wants the bubble down, right onto that rush is Timeless. Just going to make their retreat.
EMP here for Vision. You have to throw this at this next fight, but Admiral
Setting up
has
for
a
it.
sound barrier.
Boom. Admiral still with sound barrier though, but CJ's already dead. Do they commit? I don't think so. Not after they lose Seeker as well. Although Infected wants to stay in this fight. Squid and Vision end up going down. No, there's the focus fire. They know as well, like, you have so many meters in the bank that you don't need to really use the beat there. You can use it on the re-engage. You can just meet them in mid, hit the sound barrier, win this fight, and then reset the bot back to close to where your barricade is.
Well, with the EMP too, like a go barrier EMP, it's like unlosable.
Yeah, if you need it, right? Yeah, you've got backup if you end up choosing one to win the fight. There's the EMP, Cuffer in trouble, no Primal Rage either, a bubble to block the healing, and Vision gonna succumb to their wounds as Zera chase them down, and no sound barrier required, Rose. Just a one old wonder of a team fight.
And that feels even better because now you have the sound barrier plus the rush. You also are going to have 2 other ultimates if Infected can get this Primal Rage up too. So it is just defense. Vision is dead.
Homing kunais.
Is that like a random kunai from across the map?
Cover gets the Suzu, survives without popping the Primal Rage. That bot is nearing this final checkpoint, although this point's very hard to cap. At the best of times, or the worst of times. There's the rush on the high ground. Cover sees that sound barrier just in time, and now the pulse one from Zera looking at the back line. Switching his focus now to Vision. He's got 20-20 on him. Seeker does end up falling as well. Still with the pulse bomb, holding on to this one. They're just forcing Timeless to use ults to even win a fight. Just perfect for Nightmare. 3.5 minutes to go as Cuffer rips the Primal Rage, kills Infected. And they're going to reset bot. Okay, Zera at least picking up an extra kill. Should go down on the Tracer, but you're burning ults, you're burning time. Nightmare know how to play this from this position.
Yeah, I mean, time is such a valuable resource when you're looking at 3 minutes remaining. Timeless have to win, what is that, 4 team fights in a row?
15, 16, 17, I don't know, a lot. Vision's already dead as well. Pulse bomb not getting too much from Doomed, and that is probably the worst spot to be as a Lucio player. Unfortunately, Lu Camino is down. However, they are still trading. But trades are bad right now for Timeless. They need clean and decisive team fights. So they've only got about 19 meters on the board.
Well, here is a potential clean team fight win. Vision very close to that EMP. Not before Seeker's gonna get it too. So wow, this could be very interesting. 2 EMPs potentially on the board for this next fight. So Vision's trying so hard to make sure that that's up and ready to go.
Oh, Seeker, the one-man EMP onto Cuffer. Yeah, got Suzu'd instantly. Optimistic EMP there, and now Vision is going to show him out. Start, I'd imagine. Oh, but Seeker dies. Will you even need it? Maybe a manual hack is all that they really need. They're going to rip it anyway, just to guarantee it. Again, you do need clean team fights here. Doomed falls. Zera finds another one as Squid ends up going down. Wow. The ability for Nightmare to find these picks is kind of insane. So this is going to be checkpoint at least now for Timeless.
All right, that's 1 clean, decisive team fight win under their belt. They need 2 more. 2 more that they have to string together, looking at a 1.5-minute time bank. One of those is going to have to be in overtime.
Got to be perfect.
Primal Rage, sound barrier. Yeah, you're looking at perfection from here on out.
There's the rush from both sides, basically layered on top of each other. The sound barrier from Lu Camino is going to help them survive. You can see Cuffer's just chasing Abril. Just enemy number 1 for the Winston most of the time, especially if they're close to that ultimate, which Admiral was. Cover does use that Primal Rage too, but Infected just showing him up right now with a kill on to Lu Camino and Squids. Cover's Primal running out, unfortunately now, and has to get out, or probably is going to end up going down. Nice pulse from Doomed, but you're just going to reset bot. You got 45 seconds. Timeless. Oh dear, a pulse bomb from Zera. Cover, yeah. Wow, these stacker kills are real bad for Timeless.
Yeah, it's super bad. 35 seconds left, and now it's going to be Nightmare that have the sound barrier advantage with Admiral. So you would think, as long as you don't Ajax this one, this is the map for Nightmare.
Oh. Don't.
They have the tools
don't,
ready to put it together.
Don't call it. Don't. Come on. Cast a custom a second ago. Admiral has to hit the sound barrier here for Nightmare to win a clean fight, but boom, there it is. Hits 5. Vision instantly dead. No one was ever worried. Seeker's quick to follow, but with only 7 seconds to go, Timeless have to touch the pot. I think it's all over, Rose. I think we're going to a map number 5. There's no ults for Timeless. There's no health. There's no help. No, nothing. OT is ticking down, and Nightmare take us to a map number 5 here in North America, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Runasapi with a 130-meter lead. You are not coming back from that one, Timeless.
Insurmountable. That was such a quick lead that they were able to get to. What did we have? 4 minutes on the clock, and they had almost completely capped the map? That was crazy.
But now Timeless get their map pick. Probably going to see Clear subbed in, you think? Going to New Junk City?
New Junk City? Yeah, bring the Malga, bring out the Zarya. You could definitely do that, but I also wonder if you're Timeless, if you do feel very confident being able to run the Winston in a more, I don't know, open environment. I guess we'll have to see where their heads are at, because they do have 2 very valuable options here that they could go for. Looking at Flashpoint, it's just which one they think is going to be one that's going to get them over that finish line. But Infected made this look
easy.
Like what a turn of events. Infected made this look so easy.
Real impressive push. Yeah, 130 meters on their first one. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Map number 5. Timeless's fate is in their hands. It's got to be New Junk City, surely. So we give the players a couple of minutes here. We just run through these highlights. This is Lucamino hitting the Ajax, unfortunately. Tough spot to be in. After getting EMP'd, you want to just lay that out straight away, but the focus fire was just so good there. Oh, and there's the kunai kill too from Vision's POV. Popped out through a virus long range and just boop. Still does a lot of damage. Does more damage now, actually. It did 12.5 at a headshot before. It does 120 flat now after the Kiri change. Here's the map stats as well. Closer, actually, than I thought it was, to be honest, in terms of the stats here. 31 to 41, KD. Pretty close to 1.3 to 0.7. Wasn't exactly a blowout. Well, to be fair, Timeless did end up capping the checkpoint near the end of the map. So that's probably why.
Ooh, well, still pretty close then, but I think you're looking at just where we might be able to potentially go with this next pick, and I think it's a really, really tough call, because on the one hand, Nightmare can sub in Clear if they really want to in order to take up the Zarya, and on the other hand, you have to deal with the Winston Mirror again. That didn't really work out so great here on Runasapi.
Yeah, I'm curious if they do end up going to New Junk City, subbing in Clear, or are they going to go to Suravasa? It's up to them if they want to match that dive again, if they do continue to feel confident in that. And they should do, to be fair, because that Circuit Royale it looked great. Kaffa was just crazy on the Winston. It was Seeker switching over to Sombra in that Runasapi, just manual hack, manual hack, manual hack. And then it's kind of strange, halfway through that, I wouldn't even say halfway through. It was kind of after the first couple of fights, the manual hacks just went towards Vision. Oh, you want to jump Sombra? Okay, boom, hacked, over and over and over again. Even the Tracer too, getting those manual hacks, and the follow-up was just so clean from Nightmare. One of the top contenders in North America. I had them going all the way to the finals to see if they can make it there. This lower bracket elimination match. And it is Timeless picking Suravasa.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, I think Kaffa is a bit more inflexible when it comes down to what you were hoping to see out of that tank position. And so now you really put the onus on Nightmare to figure out, okay, well, I think we have to keep Infected in the roster. We're going to play the Winston Mirror if we're going to end up seeing, like, the Winston come out from Kaffa. And I think it feels okay. Like, this is Timeless's best effort for sure. I don't think they want to have to play the Malga versus something like the Clear Zarya.
All right, yeah, okay. Suravasa, it is. Yeah, the Sombras, I think, are just going to be a main fixture now for both sides. It's been interesting to see, too, where teams want to pick up something like a Sojourn and the Tracer as well. I'm curious, too, because with Seeker Seeker initially kind of made his name on the Sojourn. His Sojourn was the best in NA, or you could argue up there with maybe rank 1 or rank 2, depending on who we're counting for North American Overwatch. And like even just in Overwatch League 2, when he was on Boston Uprising, his Sojourn was insane. I'm curious if he's going to pick that one up here, because I think the Sombras have been, especially the way Nightmare have been able to set the tempo of these fights, the tempo of the engagements and maps. I would be too surprised if they just stick with that here. But final map for both teams. Lower bracket semi-finals. Winner goes on to face Toronto Defiant in the lower finals. And then you have a chance to make it to the grand finals to meet NRG Shock. Oh, there you go. Okay, Nightmare, Seeker on the Soj. With the Sombra change to 250 to 225 health, a lot easier for the Sojourn to take them out cleanly.
Could totally snipe it out if you're able to sniff out the Sombra. But Zera, I feel like, is just going to go back to the Tracer. Yep, just get that Symmetric Teleport out of spawn. Make sure that Nightmare can actually make it over to the flashpoint first, so that Seeker can get this very valuable setup here on the Sojourn. So where does Vision find access to this backline? I think it's really nice to look at Seeker as a target, maybe even Admiral.
Seeker.
Yeah, see, that was an instant Suzu from CJ to save that.
Yeah, really hot off the mark there by CJ. They know Seeker, like you said, is going to be the target more often than not. Oh, no, Doom missed blink. I think Doom was supposed to blink up onto the point there, but missed it. Booped their little head. That's going to cost them their life. Nightmare. They end up giving up the point to start off with, at the very least, but now they're in 4v5, just punishing Cuffer. Now Seeker can just do what Seeker does best and shoot people with a railgun.
Will be a little bit of progress though for Timeless before they have to come back in. Nothing yet though on the board for either team in terms of ultimates, but I think if you're looking at the Sojourn in Seeker's hands, I don't think you need the ults. Just get a quick pick with the Sojourn. Especially knowing that you do have this point control, then you can set Seeker up behind the point, just get some really good damage down. Look at the Disruptor shot already, forcing Vision to have to back up.
Yeah, Vision playing less on the flank. Oh, took a kunai to the face and then a railgun to follow. Just melted. Can't lose anybody here if you're Timeless. Oh, they forced the recall. Surely Doomed. Yeah, Doom should be able to just get away, just hide somewhere else. But Nightmare on their own final fight, and Seeker's closing in on this railgun. And if they want to go early, they could do as well, because CJ's done so much healing. They got Rush.
They're gonna have Pulse Bomb too. I think just go ahead and lay the Rush down once you see Timeless.
Yeah, there it is. There's the Rush on the point. Good luck contending with this one, Cover. Already half HP, no Primal Rage either. It's going to be just point over to Nightmare. I think Doomed ended up quickly touching, but yeah, Cover's dead to Pulse. Don't need anything else. And that's 1 point on the board for Nightmare.
Still, again, winning out on this dive versus dive that we're seeing here from both teams. Infected is still keeping pace, though. Like, Kappa and Infected, both are going to have these Primal Rages for the next fight, but the big difference here is going to be Vision's EMP. But Nightmare with this first flashpoint control, I mean, Timeless are going to have to make some really good value out of these ultimate trades. 5 ults for this one.
And with Sound Barrier, just want to disengage from this one. Look at that. Amp speed out of there. Infected wants to stay in the mixture, though. With this Primal Rage. Oh, a couple of swapping sides there. Got to be careful for Nightmare. Vision just hiding in this corner, waiting for them to engage. This EMP is going to be in such a good spot. Bam, hits 3. Or not even a chance for Apple to use Sound Barrier. Seeker Zera Infected, getting hacked. That's one big ultimate out the way for them to deal with, but they are going to lose control of this point.
But if Timeless needs the EMP online every single time to win a team fight, that's not going to be very good. You only get them every so often, even if Vision is charging them up as fast as you can. And you're going to see Seeker come back in with this overclock. That is going to be really tough here for Timeless. Maybe the Primal Rage from Kappa can help boot Seeker out of place. But, yeah.
Overclock, always hunting for Vision there. Use that chance cases to get out, and there's the sound barriers on each side. Still, the Overclock just tearing through this overhealth. He really wants Vision dead. Cover's more than happy. You want to put yourself out of position? No problem for me. Infected, though, comes up with 2 kills regardless, and with a Pulse Bomb in hand, maybe Zera can flip the script. Cover is still pretty low, too. Vulnerable to a Pulse Bomb.
Now he's healed back up, though, after being able to grab some health. And it's going to still, but it was a point flip in favor of Nightmare. Well, Kappa had to go get healed up. Here's the rush from CJ, able to lay over this point. With something like that pulse bomb from Zera too. Yeah, I mean, Kappa still losing on those shields very quickly, so that could still be a pulse bomb pickup on that Winston.
Just denying time from Timeless. Pulse bomb still for Zera. There's both rushes on the point. Infected already dead though. I mean, the heals can't come quick enough from the Kirikos. It's so tough sometimes to make that work when those rushes are just laid on top of each other like that. Infected's got Primal Rage in 5%. I think it's Timeless going to be able to get this cap, or is someone going to touch here from Nightmare? It looks like it's going to be Zera just perma-touching on the point until reinforcements arrive. As Infected comes back with a Primal Rage, but Vision's got EMP, looking to set up. Oh, lets it loose. That's a massive one as well. Admiral lays down the sound barrier, but doesn't catch Seeker. Where is the picks, however? Vision is going to be the main focus. Sound barrier from Lucamino a little bit late. His cover doesn't receive that overhealth, was just carrying in the corner. And now Infected turning his attention towards this Lucio. Just Goomba stomping almost, but I think the healing resources were spread a little bit too thin there for Nightmare. As Timeless looking to cap this point now, but Admiral at least gets the kill on Lucamino. A scrappy fight, boiling down to just Cover staying alive, and no, Zera and CJ come back. How is Zera and CJ still up and alive in that one? I do not know. And now Timeless need a reverse sweep here on Flashpoint.
And it's not looking easy for them to do that. You've got the Primal Rage here from Kappa, which will help to prolong a fight, but you need to be winning these quickly and decisively. We're actually going to be seeing a couple of DPS swaps come through from the Timeless roster. Doomed going over to the Pharah, and it is going to be Vision now taking up the Tracer reins. This is a problem with this Timeless squad. You gotta change hands who the Tracer's gonna be in. That's not easy. You give up all of that charge and all of that progress on these ults. But hopefully the Pharah can get the job done, because this is it.
Doomed. So how quickly moved away there. Oh, Seeker's just getting battered by Cover, just booping him around with Primal Rage. Didn't have a chance to use that overclock. Maybe got one shot off, but that was about it. No slide, no problem for Cover. Good first pick, good first cap even, sorry, for Timeless.
Chasing down a couple of those picks too is going to help them get a little bit more on the board. But Seeker instantly switching off of the Sojourn now to go over to the Sombra, seeing there's no threat of that on the other side.
Zera just got a pick up to Vision.
Again. Yeah, that's not good either. Like, you're just going to have that player advantage with Seeker coming back on the Sombra too.
Yeah. Rush is good for a cap. Oh, detected instantly. Really nice check there by Vision. All right, Pulse Bomb available from Zera. There's the point. There's the rush. There's the beat as well from Nightmare. Doom just the main focus for Nightmare, and Infected just chasing him through the skies. No, Squid and Cover still come up with kills. Zera trying to stick somebody, or at least trying to, okay, get Suzu, get Swift Step out. I've got to be able to attach this to somebody. Didn't end up using it in the very end, just the rest of the team ended up falling before they could find an opening. Good team kill there from Timeless, saved ults, Sound Barrier, Barrage, and the Pulse Bomb. This is their chance to come back in on this map.
It really is, and they're gonna need to, like you said, they have to reverse sweep on Suravasa, so it's gonna be just this one flashpoint, and then you still gotta look at two more, but it all starts here. Kappa hopefully getting the Primal Rage up too will make sure that they're going to be able to secure this flashpoint.
Oh, there is the Barrage. There was a quick Suzu on the ground there from CJ and a teleport to stay alive. Doom is so low. Even that Sound Barrier couldn't save them. That Suzu on him is good from Squid. You want to do that to keep the Pharah and keep the maximum amount of damage like outputted from that Barrage, but this is going to be Nightmare flipping this point. 49% to 99. And Seeker, you got to be scared of this guy. 70% towards this EMP. They got to dodge it, and Lucamino's not going to have Sound Barrier for this fight either, so this is make or break for Timeless.
This is going to have to be a huge pulse bomb here from Vision, try to even things up, because if you go on too long, it's going to be Admiral that has a Sound Barrier at the end of things.
Oh, look at that, yeah. Cuffer knows that Seeker's got to be the person they got to kill first. Nice little, oh, the Transgator into the skies. Infective's already dead, though, so across the battlefield, Cuffer's teammates are coming up big with kills, and they managed to find the flip as well. Nightmare is still contesting for the time being as Zera just double dips onto the point and manages to recontest once more. He's going to be able to get out alive. Yes, but no. CJ was the next to touch and doomed with a double kill with 1 rocket. An expensive fight for Nightmare. They end up using their rush. But it is Timeless coming back into this one with a team kill and a quick rotation to the next flashpoint.
Our rush was very high risk, high reward, because if you're able to actually stall it out, come back even with 3 or 4 members on the rush, then that could have just been the map win for you right then and there. Seeker, though, now finally has this EMP. So when we look at Timeless making it to this flashpoint first, they still don't have the sound barrier for this, and this could be a Nightmare getting this first flashpoint capture.
Oh, EMP, a solo one onto cover. Yeah. Oh, a sound barrier too from Nightmare.
Whoa.
Seems like a bit of an overextension from Admiral. They managed to kill Cuffer. It looked like they were very much winning that fight. Maybe Admiral thinking that him going down will result in a less than ideal team fight for themselves.
I guess just to ensure that you're going to get
Good
this
hack.
first point capture.
Good Suzu though. Squid managed to survive that initial hack duration. Fari is just disgusting on the rush. Also, it's the direct there. Ooh, cheeky from Doomed and gets away from Infected too. 34 HP. Managed to get out alive.
Infected steals the Mega though.
Oh, and his health. Oh no.
Oh, he gets.
Good stagger from Cuffer.
That's huge. Oh, the bubble placement to make sure that Infected couldn't get any more healing from the team. And now you're just gonna stall out this point a little bit more. So Timeless, they get to set up back on this flashpoint with the barrage at the ready and a couple extra ultimates to spare. That's gonna feel really good to see if they can actually get this reverse sweep to come to fruition on Suravasa.
It's gonna be a hard barrage to get off though. You got to imagine this very open-aired point. All right, Vision managed to get a stick. It was a connection, but it was onto the bubble. It wasn't onto the Winston, sadly. Doom just got that overhealth from the sound barrier. Is more than happy just to rip this now, but it's just been, again, just juggled by Infected in the skies. Nightmare still have to come up with kills, though, because the point is ticking. 80% and counting for Timeless. Infected is going to get out alive, but they need to go for this touch. They need to go for the touch, or they need to think about moving to the next one. 94%. Who is there to do it? Looks like Zera and Infected can get onto the point in time. There is the barrage, though, high in the sky, but Gabriel gets the boop kill. Squid also ends up falling. And Nightmare, by the skin of their teeth, manages to get back to the point in time and find the flip.
Flip with the EMP, the sound barrier, one more fight in between them and winning out this 5-map series. The EMP is going to be big here too if Seeker can build it up in time, but with how quickly Timeless have been coming back into these fights, I don't know if Seeker's going to have it right away.
They got no ults.
So look at, we turn to Timeless right now to see what they can get up first.
They're going to have this rush, but that's pretty much about it. Beat EMP, that's a guaranteed team fight. Unless anything drastic goes wrong. This is Nightmare's point to lose here. The rush comes out on the point. Sound barrier hits 4. Nightmare now building up the EMP, and it's a big one. Vision, Cuffer, isolated. Cuffer nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We're trying to hide behind that small pillar as overtime now in session for Timeless. Are the kills coming through quick enough, though? Infected gets chased down by Squid as the pulse bomb was connected by Vision. OT now in session. A nice little hack and a stick should do it from Zera. Squid succumbs to the pulse bomb as Nightmare managed to cap in amongst the chaos. Cuffer is back, but immediately hacked and chased down by Zera. Infected is also back on the ball, and Nightmare, they're going to design that reverse sweep on Flashpoint and knock Timeless out. It's time for their rematch against Toronto Defiant as they see themselves in the losers finals.
What a great match that we had between these two teams, and it was so much fun to watch. I feel like we ended up seeing a good evolution from both of them in order to respond. But that Winston, at the end of the day, I mean, you just gotta give credit to Infected.
It looked good. Both him and Cuffer looked exceptional in that game. Really, I like this Sombra look now from a lot of teams. I like the Tracer and the Sombra. Just save up EMP, sound barrier. It's an almost unlosable fight. It looked a little bit dicey when they didn't initially come up with kills, but Cuffer going down first, that was the nail in the coffin. One of the carries from this series, you've got to say. But Nightmare come up with the win. It's time to get some revenge on Toronto Defiant. Zoe, Jake, Johnny, what do you think about that game? Another game number 5 in NA?
Another banger.
Another banger. Time is bringing it back. Not rather time is a Nightmare actually bringing it back. Wrong script, sorry. Nightmare bringing it back after going down 2-1 against Timeless, which was already a surprise for, I believe, a lot of people watching. They played a lot of that dive mirror. And on map 4, since we already covered the first half of it, let's talk about that because we saw both favoring the more fast-paced styles, right? Looking at the backline there with the Lucio Kiriko. This is something we would have usually arguably said that Nightmare is the stronger team in, but Timeless held their own.
Yeah, I think this was very close, and a lot of that was thanks to Kuffa on the Winston, who put out a huge performance. I mean, I think he has really a lot to be proud of from this tournament, despite getting knocked out here. A lot of massive primals from him. But on the other side, I think Admiral and CJ just seem so comfortable on the Lucio Kiri. I think that is maybe their best support and look. And for Timeless, I think they really are an on-a-brig team. That's where they're really strong, especially when Vision can play a hard hit scan. They're making a lot more, they're flexing into this comp where I think Nightmare are just very much in their wheelhouse. Zero was a player I feel like I was watching all series long, just kept coming up in the clutch, right? In these moments with your back against the wall, he was the one who was very, cool, calm, and collected, not making any mistakes in those critical moments where honestly, Nightmare, I could feel the nerves in this last map 5, right? There was a couple spots, maybe they're over-ulting, going for stuff that they really shouldn't have. And so Zero was a huge part of bringing it over the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, Paraiso was a great map for them as well because, they do get to put Vision on long-range hit scan on that defense, but then also executed nicely when it came to the Echo on offense. Then when you get into these compositions, both on Runasapi and here on Suravasa, and you need Vision and Doom to kind of like swap between, Doom playing the Pharah and Vision playing the Tracer, and then you want to put Doomed on the Tracer and Vision on the Sombra. Like, it's just... For the damage line, it's just the hero swaps, are a bit tough to make sense with, and then as you mentioned as well, the on-a-brig. So again, I think it was a great performance by Timeless. They were so close to clutching this series out, and I guess a team like Nightmare, who were built to really compete with NRG and Toronto, it was a really good performance by Timeless to get here.
Seeker earning themselves the player of the match honor. I do feel like there were quite a few candidates in this very long series.
I'm going to say Zero got robbed. I got to say Zero got robbed. I'm calling him out.
Yes.
I'm calling him out. But Seeker had a solid game. I wouldn't say it was his best performance, but I mean, then again, this map 1 was really massive from him. The Bastion, though, did get shut down, so you got to give Timeless respect for seeing this comp coming, right? Like, it was deployed against Toronto, and they came with a beautiful counter strat for it. Seeker as well, he did have huge moments on the Sombra, right? And his flexibility to play the Sombra gives them the edge in the matchup, where we are seeing those role swaps from Doomed and Vision to find their way in the matchup. You don't need that given Seeker's flexibility. They're able to just go back and forth super easily. Seeker and Zera, both taking turns on Tracer at times through the series.
It was a great performance from pretty much every player on that roster as they're keeping themselves alive in this series. It was a close one, quite a nail-biter. We do have a winner's interview now ready, and there he is. Infected is joining us. Hello. That's the most surprise face I've ever seen on this big screen. Infected, obviously you must still be just buzzing with excitement. That was such a close series. You guys brought it back. What were the comms like after you guys went down 2-1?
For like the first 2 maps that we lost, we were really nervous and we weren't playing how we normally were, especially since they were playing compositions that we haven't really practiced or played against. So I think that just threw us off. But like once we entered Runasapi and we won first fight, the comms were so like calm and collected. Everybody was like on the same page, so it felt really good.
And I'm curious, as far as strategy goes, you guys are going to have to rematch against Toronto Defiant tomorrow in that lower final after NRG's upset victory there. And I'm curious if you think, this Sombra comp, I think it looked good. I think we've seen more and more teams bring it out. Is that something that you guys feel really confident on, maybe a direction you might want to take the series tomorrow?
Honestly, I don't know, because we played a little bit of the Sombra comp on like some parts of maps or whatever, but I know for a fact we did not play it like in scrims on Suravasa ever. Like that was our first time playing it there.
Wow.
So we might bring it out, but because we seem pretty good on it. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, seem pretty good on it. That's a recipe for you right there. I wanted to get your reaction as well to NRG beating Toronto Defiant. I think going into this weekend, we all said that it would be a battle for the top 3 with you, NRG, Shock, and then also Toronto Defiant. And now with Toronto Defiant being taken down with NRG in the finals, do you feel like you are the next team up to really take down Toronto Defiant and find yourself in that final?
Well, I mean, we've always been like pretty even with the NRG, like in practice and stuff. And I honestly, like, I cannot believe that they beat Toronto. But I'm really happy for them. They're all amazing. So I think if they can beat them, we can definitely beat them as well.
That's right. It's your turn now. That will happen hopefully tomorrow. Infected, thank you so much for joining us. Back to the lab for you and the guys. We are very excited to see what you have in store for us in your next match.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.